Alright, so far we've been over my canteen and my medical bag. Once again, this is just my bug out bag. Yours will be critiqued to you. Every bug out bag is different. This is my big bag, and this has got a lot in it. It's heavy, and I've got some things in here that some people may have and some people may not. I have things that I know that I probably need. As you see, it's got a lot of pockets. You know, in the front here it's got 3, then an extra one here, then it's got 2 side ones, back pocket, and then there's a divided pocket inside. This will hold a lot. Just go through the compartments real quick. Oh, I was telling you about the pill ones. We'll do that first. Those have an O-ring on them so they keep things safe. If you had longer versions of these, you can get for matches. Same idea, but these are designed for pills. They're ceramic inside, and you want to rotate these pills every couple months. Just make sure you got the freshest ones in there. Sewing kit. You be surprised the usage you come up with this. Not only that, you can, and it's painful, but you can sew a cut together with this. You of course want to make sure that you sterilize the needle and the thread and all that stuff. But if you have to, you can use it for that. But it's also repairs. There's a small scissors in there. I don't know if you can see that. And of course a measuring tape and as much thread in this little container as I could fit. Emergency whistle. They come in different sizes, shapes. It's got a cord so you can put it around your neck if you have to. This one just happens to be the thin one. These are dirt cheap on eBay. There's no reason not to have one of these either. The other thing I got is another pocket knife. Sharpen your knives. Make sure that they're sharp. There is nothing more useless when you need to cut something than a dull knife. This is just a simple pocket knife I've had for many years. I keep the blades fairly sharp on it. It's got 3 of them in here. Like I said, more knives you got, the better. I mean, you know, they could get broke, lost, whatever. Yet another knife. So I have 3 knives on this bag. 1 in the medical and 2 in the actual bag itself. And this is another one that doesn't have a thumb stud, but it's got a hole you put your thumb in and you can open it up. Remember to have at least 1, if not all your knives, able to do that. It's also got a lock on it. You don't want the kind that doesn't have a lock, because if you're using this for anything and it doesn't have a lock, comes back, you can take a finger off pretty quick. I have this one very sharp at the moment. I don't mess around when it comes to knives. I want something that's going to work. It's got a rubber grip on it. These aren't real super expensive. You ain't got to spend 50 bucks for a decent knife. There's a big myth about that. You don't want a 99-cent knife either. So spend a little money and get something decent. I suggest you have at least 1 knife with a serrated edge because it can cut rope, anything like that. You need to have that there. And this one's very sharp. Actually, that's pretty sharp. And make sure that they lock. That's important. And a knife sharpener. Cheap. And if you use a knife, anybody will tell you they get dull fast. So keep a knife sharpener, keep a couple knives, make sure you're ready to sharpen, check them out every now and then, keep them honed, keep them looking good, keep them clean, that's the other thing, but always have a knife sharpener with you as well. Package individual chewing gum. This is important. First of all, you might need it to keep your throat dry. Second of all, it gives you something to do. Chewing on something is a mental thing for people. If you're chewing mentally, you're thinking things aren't as bad as they are. Plus, gum is good to have. You can have anything. This is a sugar-free gum because I'm a diabetic. I can't have anything. But I've got a package of this gum in the side pocket. In that side pocket is another container. And yes, this one is completely full of Band-Aids. You couldn't get another Band-Aid in here. And these are all different sizes. And there is, if I can get to it, Neosporin. That's right, a tube of Neosporin. Do not forget that. You need to have this kind of stuff. The flat items. Thermal blanket. Must have. You've got to have one of these if you're especially in a cold climate. But even when someone gets wet, sometimes they get the chills. You should have a thermal blanket. As you can see, it's thin, not expensive, doesn't take up any room in the bag. Seriously, there's no excuse. That and a poncho. Rain poncho. This happens to be yellow. The reason I got there yellow is a reason. You can use this for signaling. You can use this if you have to cut this up and leave it as a trail marker if you got to put trails. Always think ahead. Multitask everything in your bag. Don't have a single thing that just does one thing. That's just not going to work for you. It's good for signaling. The yellow is very visible if you want to be visible. If you don't want to be visible, then don't buy the colored kind. But you can get these in red, orange, or camouflage, or black and gray. So, and these are cheap. You can get these at dollar stores. There's no reason not to have one of those either. First up, a longer slightly bigger pair of scissors. You never know when you're going to need to cut something. That little pair in the sewing kit is designed to cut threads. It ain't designed to cut anything. Get a decent little pair. This is metal, not plastic. Plastic is fine, but I like metal. Worst case scenario, this has got a loop in it and a point. You can break this apart and you now have got two sharp knives that you can keep in your hand if you need to defend yourself. Metal is the key here. This is a can opener for paint. Yes, that's right. See, it's got a little hook there. That end can be used as a bottle opener. Not that I suggest you drink in these times, but just to say. But it's also a weapon. Multitasking. You can, you know, this can hurt somebody. It ain't got to be sharp to shove it into somebody's skin later. Because the other thing you got to be able to do is make fire. You've got to get warm, cook, signal, whatever. Fire is right up there on important things. This is just one of these cheap ones that I threw in my bag. Doesn't cost any money. I think I got a 3-pack for like $1.20 or something. So I had, you know, 2 more of these lighter. Ziploc bag, big one, full of different size Ziploc bags. This is good for keeping things in, cooking in, catching rainwater in if you run out of water, putting things in that you want to keep dry. The multitude, it's endless how many things you can do with a bag. Research this and you'll be stunned. And what I have in here is about 4 6-foot lengths of rope with clip-on hooks on the bottom. You can always use rope for something, holding down a tent, holding something up, your food off the ground so the animals don't get to it or what have you. Tying something up. The more string you got, the better in my opinion. Walmart disposable bags. Not as good as the Ziploc bags, but you might need these. The reason I went with these also is they're white. Once again, mark a trail. You can put stuff in them to carry. You know, it just multitude of reasons. There's no reason. Look how thin that is, and there are 2 bags there. It takes up no room. That's right, eyeglass repair case. It comes with different bits, different replacement nose pieces, magnifying glass, and a cloth to clean your glasses with. This is important if you wear glasses, people. Don't forget this. I mean, it's ridiculous not to have this anyway if you have glasses, but you need this. Things to start a fire with. Yep, this has some fire starter blocks. It has wooden matches. It has a couple packs of regular matches, and it's just got some other miscellaneous fire starting. You've got to be able to start fires. That's important. Don't forget that. This one is foods items. This has got some tea in it. It's got coffee mix in it. It's got a couple of hard candies. It's got a soup broth that you can use in water to make stuff. It's got sugar, salt, and pepper. So see, it's got a couple of sugar-free candies, and it's just chucker-block full of salt, pepper, sugar substitute, whatever. And there's 2 things of coffee in here and a ton of tea mixes. If nothing else, you can flavor your water with this and make it at least palatable for you. I mean, it ain't gonna be fancy. There's also chicken broth in here, or beef flavored broth, I think it is. This is a lifesaver. If you don't have this, you're asking for trouble. Pair of binoculars. These can also be put on your belt if you wanted to. There's a belt loop. Gotta have it so you can see where you're going, check out what's going on in the environment. Good to have, small. This is something some people have, some people don't. This is honey. This is a thing of honey I bought. It's not expensive. You use this to flavor food. You can put this in water to make it palatable to drink. You can squirt this down your tongue and take a dose of this if you're feeling like you're gonna, you need to have some food or something. You've got honey. It'll get you by. It isn't a perfect fix. Don't rely strictly on this. But it's no reason not to have it. It's small and it's very useful. There's a lot of uses for honey. Once again, look this up and you will be surprised. Extra thread for the sew kit. Like I said, redundancy. The dollar store. This is a package of 50 bags. These are smaller bags. These are the 2-foot bags. Just another thing to have that you can use. Once again, it's blue. Easy to mark things with, easy to use. You can always take these and put these around things to keep them dry, fill them with water to carry things. Just another thing that's got so many purposes. Individually wrapped silverware. You can get these at KFC, Wendy's. They don't care if you grab a couple extra. These ones actually have the fork, spoon, knife, salt and pepper, and a napkin in it. So, but you can get these everywhere. I got some that come off a Delta flight when I was flying in an airplane. Keep a medical tape. Like I said, can never have too much of that stuff. Zip ties, different colors, different lengths. I got a couple really big ones in here that are bent in half and fill this tube. Then I got some shorties. So many uses. Once again, look it up on YouTube. So many uses. Electrical tape colors. Once again, You never know when you're going to need to fix something. It might be in an automotive sense, it may not be. Electrical sense or whatever. If nothing else, they're colored. Markers if you need them. So, and they're cheap. There's no reason not to have this. There's a lot of tape here, and it didn't cost Target any money. I have, this is my only defensive weapon really per se. This is a baton, and it's an expandable one. All you do is click and out it comes, and you've got a 5-foot weapon that if you hit somebody with this, they're not going to get up anytime soon. It's also able to be worn in the belt, so you can put it on if you want. This is dangerous. Don't play with this, but you got to be prepared. Clamps. These are small. So many uses, keeping tarps up, keeping things together, clamping something that's broke, just so many uses. Adjustable screwdrivers with the bits. This one's got the bits built in, and it's a ratchet type. This one has all kinds of extra bits. You never know. Once again, more sanitizing. In a plastic bag. If you can put stuff in a plastic bag, put it in a plastic bag. It doesn't add any size or weight to anything, and you've got that bag to use for other things. And this one's got full of handy wipes, you know, all kinds of things, and a spray-on hand sanitizer so you keep your hands clean. Another package of Band-Aids and alcohol swabs. Like I said, never have too much of things. And another emergency whistle. This has got the fishing kit in it. It's got bobby pins, it's got some ties, and it's got toothpicks, and it's just got all the little odds and ends. There's some duct tape in here as well. Let me see if there's anything else I need to know about. Some pins. And like I said, another whistle and some string, some fishing string, and then regular string. And there is a hand saw, the wire saw that you use between two fingers. It's got branches for burning wood, all in that little kit. Plus, it comes in another little bag. And last but not least, tissues. We got a multiple of the use of these. I don't have to get into it. I mean, we all know what tissues are good for. There's a lot of things for it, but that should be in there as well. And there you go. That is everything that was in this bag. As you can see, there's plenty of room. So keep it, check it. Always make sure you check it out, make sure it's good. And don't be afraid to pack those things, and redundancy is key. You can never have too much of anything. But make sure you can move it. Don't make it so heavy. I mean, this would be, I would not give this to a child. I mean, they just wouldn't be able to carry it. You know, this is designed for a man to grab, and it's just the way it is. I mean, make your pack fit the person you're thinking of using it. If you're making one for a kid, then you would make this a lot less. You would also make it colored, so you can identify somebody in it. You know, if you're in a crowd of people leaving a city or something, if everybody's carrying bags like this, how are you going to tell anybody apart? You know, that's another thing, especially with kids. Kids, you want to keep them visible. For me, I went with this one because it's a good price and it had all the spaces I wanted, and it happened to be camouflage. It could have been black, could have been tan, would have made no difference to me. Alright, there it is, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you got any questions, shoot me an email or PM or something, and I'll be more than happy to answer it, or put it in the comments down below. Alright, thanks for tuning in. Till next time, stay prepared.